Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to Heart of the Swarm exhibitions here from the MLG studios in New York City. On Skype, I have TT1 joining me with some co-commentary. We're watching a best of 7 between Dragon and Whitera. Of course, Thursdays are dedicated to our show matches. Mondays and Fridays, we got King of the Hills going on. And Tuesdays and Wednesdays, we got free-for-alls going on. So that being said, let's jump into game number 5, where these guys are currently tied at 2-2. In the bottom right, we have the blue Terran player, Dragon, who's currently up, who was up 2-0, and then his opponent in the bottom left, the red Protoss player, Whitera, decided, you know what, I'm going to win 2 games in a row, and now it's tied 2-2. And the story of last game, I mean, I'll be completely honest. I felt like Whitera, he was losing a lot of units in the early game there.
Let's just call it like it was. Whitera got kind of lucky. He got lucky, but yeah, you have to be in that position as well. So Whitera, he thought to himself, all right, what's like the only thing that could happen in this game that might bring me back into it? And he just warped in units and Dragon attacked, and that was it, basically. I wonder how Dragon felt after that game. To be honest, if I was in his position, I would have been really mad.
Yeah.
But yeah, kind of unfortunate for him. But yeah, we do have a series on our hand right now.
We do.
It's 2-2. Like I said, never count out Whitera. He's a fighter, man.
He is. And the map is going to be New York City. We got New York City. It's actually officially called Newkirk City. Some map features. It is 2-player. There's a spawn at the bottom left and the bottom right. We got a ramp leading up to the natural expansion. Looks like it's about 3 force fields wide there, so relatively difficult to hold. But again, with the photon overcharge on the Nexus, again, the early aggression isn't too scary to deal with. We got 2 potential third bases here, one just outside the natural, kind of like a nest expansion there, and of course in the top right we got a third that's a little bit further away. It's interesting to see which third these players decide to pick. But yeah, I think generally PvT, they last a little longer on this map because of the longer resistance. But I think airplay is also very viable considering the airspace between these 2 bases isn't as long as the ground distance.
Yeah, this map is a very interesting dynamic, especially in PvT. So you have the bases from the ground; they're pretty far apart. So if you're trying to go for a macro game, you're gonna have a lot of defenders advantage. By the time your opponent gets to your base, you're gonna have a lot of more units than usual if it was like in a smaller map. But then again, the bases from the air, they're very connected. They're super close, and especially with speedvacs right now, speed medevacs, it doesn't take a very long time for bio units to reach your base. An interesting style that a player like Supernova does a lot. He baits a lot of Protoss armies in the middle of the map. So say like, you see like the middle base, right?
Yeah.
So say he baits an army there, then he picks up his units and he goes with the speedvacs and he does like a massive 4 or 5 medevac drop inside the main base. So he snipes stuff out, he snipes like a Nexus, and then he just gets out. He did that a couple of times against Seed, and it worked against Seed. So
and your options as a Protoss, when you see that happen, I mean, either A, you just try to attack the Terran, but again, the general rule is never base traded Terran.
Yeah, Terran
or B, you try to run back, but then when you run back, the Terran army can just pick up and leave.
Yeah, you just have to be really smart about it. So if Whitera ever gets in that type of situation, just you can't chase the medevacs. You could if you have High Templars. So say he had High Templar tech, he could have chased the medevacs and then warped in a few Templars to feed back the medevacs. But yeah, that's it's a very sticky situation to get in.
All right, Whitera for the 5th game in a row, opening up with the Stargate here. This time it's going to be after that natural expansion. The natural expansion is about to finish 2 gases in the main base. Probably going to go into Oracle production fairly soon. Whitera definitely loving those Oracles in Heart of the Swarm. Meanwhile, Dragon opening up with a very fast 3rd command center. Let's see if Whitera has caught a whiff of this. No, he's seen the natural, but he hasn't seen much else except for a few Marines there at the natural expansion. So Whitera can't necessarily know what's going on, and this is looking a bit like game number 1, I think, if I'm remembering right.
Yeah, one thing we can take from all these games is that Dragon, he likes his minerals. He's been going for his 3cc build every game, I think. And yeah, it's a very standard and good all-around build. The only problem is that Dragon, he does this build, but he does it a little bit more greedier. He goes for double NG Bay right afterwards. So if you go for double NG Bay, it's going to be a lot harder for you to hold like gate unit all-ins. So that's why it's not a very safe and solid overall build. But if he were to go into a macro game, like say Whitera didn't do like a 6 gate all in, he would be in a very good position.
Wow, that was a really good scan from Dragon. Able to see the Stargate that had an Oracle on the way, and able to see 3 additional gateways there from Whitera. Still can't necessarily know if his opponent is gonna, pop down 3 more gateways, because I still think Whitera could potentially do that if he decides to cut some probes.
Especially after the last game.
Yeah, you know, when you see Whitera doing those aggressive strategies earlier on, you always got to be wary of that. That being said, still only 1 bunker in the main base here. And the National Expansion Dragon adding on turrets. Oh, but the Oracle gets there first.
Ooh, he needs to get out of there really quick though. Okay.
Oh, he killed the SCV building the turret. Oh, no, he's gonna get out.
Is he gonna get it?
No.
Oh my god, he gets it. That's such a big blow. Whitera, I think he lost his Oracle on like his first Oracle in each game until now. That's a really big blow. But yeah, the way this
a
game,
lot of investment.
Yeah, and the way this game is going, Whitera, okay, he's adding gateways, but this timing is a lot later than the timing we saw in the last game. Because he took his 3rd gas, and last game he didn't take his 3rd gas, so the timing hit much faster.
The Daybreak game.
Yeah, the Daybreak game. So Dragon has a pretty sizable army right now. Let's check the active units. So it's 900 versus 875.
18 Marines.
Yeah. I would like to see Dragon go for... he never has like an SCV at the Watchtower, just to see if there's like incoming pressure or something. It would help him a lot. Like, if he would see like the units moving out, he could add 2 more bunkers right now, but he does not. So
yeah, 3 gateways just about to finish here, and Whitera could theoretically send Oracles in the main to try to get the Marines to pull back.
Unfortunately for Dragon, he decided to make his reactors at like the worst possible time. Whitera's about to attack, and that cuts out a lot of production from Dragon. So yeah, like right now he's floating 600 minerals. All that could have been units if he did not make those 2 double reactors. Oh, Immortal.
Oh, it's a hallucinated Immortal coming in here
Big
from
army.
From Whitera, and Oracle's coming in as well. A lot of units on the field from Dragon. He's up 80, or from Whitera, he's up 84 to 70 at this point in time. SEV scrambling to try to repair these bunkers, but Whitera coming in with absolutely everything. Immortal soaking up a lot of that damage, and now the Oracles using their pulsar beams. The bunker getting repaired really quickly here. Whitera unable to do any damage to it, but here come the Oracles once again, taking down the SCPs, and there is the GG from Dragon. Whitera taking a quick game 5. That's 3 wins in a row from the Protoss player, and Dragon is having trouble at this point in time. He has to win 2 more now. The basic story of that game is just Dragon being unprepared once again. I mean, Whitera just completely caught him off guard, and I love the use of the free hallucinate. You know, just free hallucinate Heart of the Storm now made it immortal. It soaked up a lot of damage.
Regardless if whether or not that timing would have been faster or later, 2 bunkers is not going to hold that.
Yeah.
And like I said, Whitera attacked at like the perfect moment. Dragon was making double reactors, so that he didn't have a lot of units. So that was like the perfect timing for Whitera. And unfortunately for Dragon, his Marines were inside his main base when that attack hit.
Yeah, because they're trying to protect against the Oracles.
Yeah, and I don't know why he keeps them in his main base. Well,
I guess turrets. I mean,
yeah,
he had a turret.
Maybe it could be just like so his reinforcing Marines don't get sniped from the Raxes, because it's quite annoying. But he could also build a turret there. But like I said, if he just has 1 SCV at the Watchtower, and if he sees the sentries moving out, he could just like add double bunkers behind his first 2 bunkers, and
that's true.
he would just hold that push really easily. I don't know why he said like Oracle at the end of the game. The Oracles didn't make him lose that game. The lack of scouting and lack of bunkers made him lose that game.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens here. Of course, Whitera on a 3-game winning streak. He's 1 win away from 10. Meanwhile, Dragon must win 2 in a row or he's going to be out. Guys, stay tuned. You're watching a best of 7 between Dragon and Whitera. Game 6 coming up.